Students, today we will discuss part 2 of the poem After Apple Picking. As for you know that we have done about the text and the explanations of the poem, and also we have analyzed the poem in the first part of this series. Now today in part 2 we will discuss what are the poetic devices and what are further discussions on this poem After Apple Picking, written by Robert Frost. First of all, let us see the symbolism. What are the symbols that are the used words? What symbols do they represent in this poem? Symbolism, literally we can say, it's an artistic and poetic movement or style using symbolic images and indirect suggestions to express mystical ideas, emotions, and states of mind. It originated in the late 19th century in France and Belgium. Okay, this is a brief history about symbolism. It's an artistic and poetic movement, means its style. It's using symbolic images, indirect suggestions to express mystical ideas or emotions or states of mind. So in 19th century, it originated from France and Belgium. These are the European countries, you know. So, after apple picking, it is a poem about life and death. Its key symbol, the apple, is one which has represented life in many cultures. For example, Robert Frost uses the symbol of ladder, apples, sleep to transform the simple job of apple picking into a poem about the end of man's life drawing to a close and its worth. For example, if we take up the example of this very ladder, ladder simply represents life. Okay, it has steps. Let the steps be the years of the life. Say, for example, if everybody has got its own ladder. If, say, for example, somebody is going to live for 60 years, say 60 steps are in his ladder. And it is two-pointed ladder. 2 points are days and nights, isn't it? So, accordingly, apples are your desires and all other things. Sleep is death and all other things. You can draw conclusions from these symbols. Now, for example, let us see what are the symbols, what are the suggested meanings of these symbols that have been used in this poem. For example, heaven. Heaven represents to the afterworld. If we see its lexic meaning, lexically it means heaven means the skies. But here the heaven means the afterworld. And accordingly, ladder means the journey of life. Apple means aims and ambitions of life. Winter means old age. Winter means death. Winter, accordingly, you can see barrel. Barrel means the world. Barrel means your desires. Barrel means your deeds. Barrel means your aims. Barrel means your filling of stomach. Accordingly, swing. Swing means ups and downs in life. You have happy moments in life. You have sad moments in life. Accordingly, harvest. Harvest means reward. Say, for example, if simply we sow crops in the field, and it is reward is it is harvest. When you have good crop, when you have a bumper crop, it is the harvest. Now, let us have some discussions on this poem. For example, the first discussion goes, what does apple picking refer to? Why has the poet given the poem this title? This can be a question asked in your examination. So you have to see from this examination point of view. Apple picking allows to any human task to be performed after hard work and against all odds. The poet has given the poem this title because he wants to convey the readers that message that whatever work they perform while living in the world should be performed with hard labor, sincerity, and devotion. After Apple Picking is a poem about life and death. the veil that isolates these, and the association among death and rest. Its key symbol, the apple, is one which has represented life in various societies. The apple revives the Norse golden apple of Eden, which gods must eat so as to stay young and immortal. The poet has given the poem this title also because it is quite useful on the grounds that without it you may believe that the poem is set during the apple picking. As the speaker is about to fall asleep, he envisions that he is back in the orchard. However, his appearance is befuddled and disoriented. Aside from this useful help, the title is modest. It refers to a typical pre-winter work, at least for farmers who cultivate in New England. Because you know, New England is the state where the poet Robert Frost lives. It is in USA. Now, next question can be, let us discuss this. What does the pane of glass refer to? What is the poetic device used in this description? The pane of glass refers to the sheet of ice that froze over the water because the speaker can see through it. A glass is also an old-fashioned word for mirror. The poetic device metaphor is used in this description. The sheet of ice is described metaphorically as a pane of glass. So, the glass refers, pane of glass is a metaphor. It is an example of metaphor used in the poem After Apple Picking by Robert Frost. Now, the next question is, what does the ladder sticking through a tree toward heaven still refer to? It refers to the poet's thoughts about death. Okay? What has the word thousand been repeated twice? Why has the word thousand been repeated twice? What is the poetic device used in this description? The word thousand has been repeated twice to suggest that the apple picker could see a number of apples on the tree. The poetic device under this is called hyperbole. It has been used to stress that the apples on the trees were countless. As you know, you have already used about this, the 10,000, as I saw at a glance in the daffodils. There it is hyperbole. Hyperbole actually means an exaggerated statement. When you exaggerate something, you say something, you want to lay emphasis on some huge numbers or other things, you use the poetic device, that's called the hyperbole. So also there are thousand apples, thousands apples, or there the rumbling sound, as you see there, it has been used there by the poet in order to say, lay emphasis on it, exaggerate his statement. So this poetic device is called hyperbole, and hyperbole has been used in this poem. Now, the question is, what is alliteration? Give two examples from the poem. It is the use of sound beginning of several words that are close together. You can see the woodchuck would say, the wood and wood. You can say load on load of apples coming. Load on load. You see L and L, L and L. Sue saw some sheets of paper. Okay. Sue saw, say, some. Okay. This is when you have in each word, when the first letter is the same or has the same consonant sound or the vowel sound, it's called the alliteration. So alliteration has been used here. What does the pane of glass refer to? What is the poetic device? The pane of glass refers to the sheet of the ice that froze over the water because the speaker can see through it. A glass is also an old-fashioned word of mirror. This we have already discussed, isn't it? So now you have to identify two symbols that Robert Frost uses in After Apple Picking. There's the two symbols that have been used by Robert Frost in the apple picking or winter sleep. It stands for a state of inactivity or death. And harvest, it stands for a reward of effort. I think with this you might be getting, because we have discussed at large this poem in our first lecture that is there in the YouTube channel. You can go there, you can refer to that for more grammatical lessons and other related materials. Please subscribe to this channel and you will find it there. So, but it's not mandatory for you to subscribe to it. If you can, it is there. So with this, I just conclude this lesson. Thank you very much.